Senator Reid, you are now recognized.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your presence here today. Mr. Tata, following President Trump's election, you called for a purge of Pentagon leadership, including firing all four-star general officers and senior career civilian employees. These are traditionally political positions, and you seem to take a very political approach. In fact, significant firings did take place. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the lawyers in the Departments of the Navy, Air Force, and Army, the Inspector General was fired. In fact, it's very disturbing because if you want to disregard the law, the first thing you do is get rid of the people who enforce the law and advise you on the law. These firings, which you were prompted to encourage, have they caused us distrust and turmoil within the department?
Senator, or Ranking Member, could you ask that last question? I had a hard time hearing you.
I apologize. Do you think this pattern of firings and of talking about loyalty at all to the president, not to the Constitution, causes problems within the military?
Ranking Member, thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation. Those remarks that I made were in direct response to a CNN report, credible report, that discussed several admirals and generals talking about how to resist President Trump and his civilian leadership. So I was actually talking about defending the Constitution. The admirals and generals don't get to choose which lawful orders that they follow. The admirals and generals work for the civilian leadership, and that civilian leadership is codified in Article 2 of our Constitution. And so I found it disturbing, to say the least, that we had admirals and generals reported by CNN discussing resisting the president's vision and directives, lawful orders. And I also found it disturbing that the chairman and the chiefs did not come out and say that this is unacceptable, this is not happening. We're going to have a review to find out if this CNN report is accurate, because we cannot have admirals and generals usurping the authority of the civilian leadership and certainly the President of the United States.
Mr. Tata, the key here is lawful order. And actually, the CNN article, quote, Pentagon officials are holding informal discussions about how the Department of Defense would respond if Donald Trump issues orders to deploy active duty troops domestically, which raises significant questions of the legality of that, and fire large swaths of apolitical staffers. The situation here, and it's still very realistic, is whether the president will ask the military to follow unlawful orders. You have someone who's just said recently he may or may not use due process, which is a constitutional right for every person in the United States. So if we're not having a serious discussion about whether officers will follow unlawful orders, I think we're failing ourselves. Let me quickly change the subject in that you are responsible for the Department of Defense education activity. They have announced banning books throughout the DoD education system, including To Kill a Mockingbird. Would you urge that To Kill a Mockingbird be prevented from being used in a school?
Ranking Member Reid, my experience as an education leader is that students need access to a full range of viewpoints and opportunities to read, and if confirmed, I look forward to getting into the DoD and understanding what the media centers have in there and what they don't have in there.
You're probably aware of the fact that when Secretary Hegseth was in Germany, there was a demonstration on post by parents objecting to these purges of books. In fact, I was astounded because that's the first, I would never conceive of a defense secretary being protested at all on a military post. But the other thing, too, is I think which is involved in this issue of To Kill a Mockingbird is the only conceivable reason that I could think anyone suggests should be taken off the shelves is that it does reveal aspects of racial discrimination in the United States, and this whole effort to erase our history is very disconcerting. And I would hope, as you suggest, that you would go back and look very carefully at these banned books and banned programs and banned everything else, because erasing history is not going to be a strength for our military services. Ms. Sutton, I have questions in writing for you. Thank you.